Hi, everybody. Welcome to Bench Racing. My name is Steve Hansen, and today we're going to switch things up just a little bit, and we are going to dive into the world of iRacing. I've been in iRacing or on iRacing or had the service since 2010, and things have changed a lot since then with iRacing, and of course the tracks and the cars are ever evolving and things like that. And but today if you haven't gotten into iRacing, or if you have dove into it a little bit, much like any other hobby, it's not a cheap sport or cheap hobby. You have the startup costs, and so we'll start with the iRacing. And I have notes this time, folks, because I wanted to try and make sure that I'm not just flying off the cuff with you on this one. So the minimum to get started is a $13 a month membership, and there are breaks if you pay annually and things like that. And with that first subscription, you get 30 cars and 25 to 30 tracks. So that's how they'll get you started on the rookie. The cars and things. There's several pavement, dirt, and road racing cars that you get. Same way with the tracks. I did not get a breakdown of what you get with that, so I apologize for that. That being said, so once you have that initial investment, then you start purchasing cars and tracks, and those run anywhere from $12 to $15 a piece once you move up. Then, if you want to get really deep into the competitive part, you're buying more tracks, and as your license progresses, they start you with rookie, then you go to Class D, Class C, Class B, Class A. That being said, with iRacing, did y'all know that the only true division, if you will, that has specific A, B, C, D is NASCAR? Is the Cup is the NASCAR side of it? There are no specific A races for any road races that I have found. There are no specific road racing ones for A class. There are a myriad of B, C, D, rookie, and all that stuff, but there is nothing. They have not done anything with any of the other divisions as far as a clear-cut A race, and I really don't understand why. They could. I'll take dirt racing. That's my background, and I'll use dirt late models to start with. So you can have the World of Outlaws, sprint cars, and late models, and let's throw in the big block modified. So that's your Class A. Class B would be like your 360s or your pro lates and that kind of thing. I'm forgetting the UMP modifieds in there, which that should be up, A and B. They only have two divisions of the modifieds, the UMP modifieds. Then for C, you have what crate late models, the 305s, that kind of thing. Could be the C division, which they are. As I said, there is no clear-cut A division for iRacing in anything but NASCAR stuff. So that all being said, so you have those costs. So as you start accumulating cars and tracks, that gets rather expensive. From rookie to D class will run you about $300 by the time you start adding on the tracks to run, if you want to run a particular program with that. So that is roughly what it costs you just for iRacing. Now let's get into the fun part. Let's get into the computers, and you have to have a wheel. Now, that being said, I am not a computer person. To me, mega gigabyte, the more the better, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not one to be one to ask about hardware and things like that. You can find that information out, and even in talking to a computer builder. But the typical budget computer will run you about $800 to $1,100, and there are those out there. You can buy the components and do it yourself. This is just if you're going to go out and buy it. And I will also point out with all of this, the computers and the wheel and the pedals, there are good quality used equipment out there. You can find it on Facebook Trading Time, a lot of different places. There's a trading place on iRacing itself. So there are a lot of places that you can find good used equipment. I have a T3 Thrustmaster T300 that I bought off eBay. I paid $150 for it. It was gently used. Before that, I had a Logitech G29 that was gently used, and I paid $75 for that, I think, back in the day. And again, we'll get in the cost of the wheel, but on average, getting back to the computer cost, you can get as fancy as you want. I will caution you on going too cheap with a computer, because once you get in the game, and depending on how many is in there, you're going to have buffering issues and things. If you don't get a good enough computer, that can bite you. So I will caution you on the computer side of it. Don't skimp. As far as memory and all that stuff, the more the better. And like I said, I'm not a computer person, so I can't give you specifics on the hard drive and the video card and all that kind of stuff. There's so much stuff. There's guys spending $8,000-9,000 on a computer just to do this, but they're into it for more than just a casual hobby type of thing. Then let's dive into and I touched on a little bit, are the steering wheels. Now you can have what they call a direct drive, which is kind of more of a mechanical, or you can have like the Thrustmaster that are I can't remember the Fanatec has one. There's a number of steering wheels out there now. Load cell pedals. Again, you could go crazy. On average, now, like I said, I've got $175 in this Thrustmaster that I have, and but to buy some of these things brand new, like a Fanatec, I believe is like $3,000 for a really good. And again, there's other. I saw where Logitech has come out with a direct drive, and which gives you more of a solid feel, more of a real world feel. So it's whatever you're after and whatever your budget can afford. But be diligent and look out there in the used world, because there's people getting in and out of it. And then let's touch on the monitors real quick. I just have a single monitor. There are guys that have 3 monitors and things like that. I've been in races where they tell you if you don't have 3 monitors, you're not shit. You shouldn't be in there, because and all that stuff. I've had 1 monitor forever, and we can dissect into the necessity of 3 monitors and all that another time. This was to give you a basic idea of what it takes to set up an iRacing rig, if you will. Now, I just have a computer desk. I have my old racing seat that I made into my gaming seat, if you will. There are regular rigs. There's all kinds of stuff that you can dive into to get into this hobby, as we call it. But there's regular rigs. There's motion rigs. There's the rigs are a complete another deal, and we can touch on that another time. But again, the base premise of this video is to tell you that if you want to get into racing and want to do it cheaply, iRacing or gaming is probably the best way to go about it, because then you don't have $5 a gallon diesel fuel or $4 a gallon gas trailers and tires and all that stuff. Because when you wreck with these, at least you can hit reset and be done. That and listen to the rhetoric if you take out somebody else. But that's like it is in real life. But with that, everybody, that's kind of what we have for you today. It's a fun deal to get into. iRacing is. You have, much like anything, you have people bitching and moaning and carrying on. And I'll touch on that topic another day. But hopefully you enjoyed this, and hopefully it helps you if you're wanting to get into iRacing. And with that, everybody, Like I always say, it's better to have raced and went broke than to have never raced at all. Have a great day.